What is going on, everybody? It is Ahmed, and I am back today with yet another video for you all. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about SBF's response to the downfall of FTX. Now, remember, as always, I like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor. Rather, I'm just trying to put you guys always on the plays that I'm in. He says here, I'm sorry. That's the biggest thing. I messed up, censored there, and should have done better. I also should have been communicating more very recently. Transparently, my hands were tied during the duration of the Binance deal. Possible Binance deal, excuse me. I wasn't particularly allowed to say much publicly, but of course, it's on me that we ended up there in the first place. So here's an update on where things are. So buckle in, everyone. If you're new around here, consider subscribing to the channel and also smash the like button to make sure everybody's aware of what's going on. This is all about FTX International, the non-US exchange. FTX users in the US are fine. Treat all the numbers as rough. There are approximations here. FTX International has a total market value of assets collateral higher than clients' deposits, meaning the money they have leveraged or money they have in collateral with other tokens, other exchanges, whatever it might be, exceed the number of client deposits. That's the money you and I as investors put into FTX. But that's different from liquidity for delivery. As you can tell from the state of withdrawals, the liquidity varies widely from very to very little. That's the full story. Here is one I'm still fleshing out every detail of, but as a very high level, I messed up twice. The first time, a poor internal labeling of bank-related accounts meant that I was substantially off on my sense of users' margin. I thought it was way lower. Also, again, guys, this really honestly gave me some frustrations. Even though I don't use FTX, I know a lot of my friends and even family do use it. My sense before, leverage 0x, USD liquidity ready to deliver 24x average daily withdrawals. An actual 1.7x leverage instead of 0. Liquidity 0.86 Sundays withdrawals. Because, of course, when it rains, it pours. We roughly saw 5 billion in withdrawals on Sunday, the largest by a huge margin. And so I was off twice, which tells me a lot of things, both specifically and generally, that I was crap at. And a third time, in communicating enough, I should have said more. I'm sorry I was slammed with things to do and didn't give updates to you all. The reason that there is a sense of misunderstanding or upsetness in the community is SBF has been someone who's always for the people, driving his Toyota Corolla, driving around, very humble individual that doesn't necessarily, care about money or wealth as some of these other people do. And so we are where we are, which sucks. And that's on me. And I'm sorry. Anyway, right now, my number one priority by far is doing right by users. And I'm going to do everything I can to do that, to take responsibility and do what I can. So right now, we're spending the week doing everything we can to raise liquidity. I can't make any promises about that, but I'm going to try and give anything and everything I have to it that will make it work. There are a number of players who are in talks with, letter of intents, term sheets, etc. We'll see how that ends up, he says. Let's keep going. Hopefully you're still with me, because I think this is important, folks. Every penny of that and of the existing collateral will go straight to users unless or until we've done right by them. After that, investors old and new and employees who have fought for what's right for their career and now weren't responsible for any of the mess ups. Because at the end of the day, I was CEO, which means that I was responsible for making sure that things went well. I ultimately should have been on top of everything. I clearly failed that, and I'm sorry. So, what does that mean going forward? I'm not sure. That depends on what happens over the next week, but here are some things I know. First, one way or another, Alameda Research is winding down trading. They aren't doing any of the weird things that I see on Twitter and nothing large at all. And one way or another, soon, they won't be trading on FTX anymore. Second, in any scenario in which FTX continues operating, its first priority will be radical transparency. Transparency, it probably always should have been given. giving as close to on-chain transparency as it can, that people, yes, so that people know exactly what is happening. All the stakeholders involved would have a hard look at FTX governance. I will not be around if I'm not wanted. All of the stakeholders, investors, regulators, users would have a large part to play in how it would be run. Solely trust. Lastly here, but all of this isn't what matters right now. What matters right now is trying to do right by customers, and that's it. And of course, he kind of goes on and talks about a few other assorted comments, which we can kind of bypass here. But overall, he says, I sincerely apologize. We'll keep sharing updates as we have them. Folks, it's unfortunate. CPI came back beautiful. Market recovered and started rallying. And of course, FTX is also making a comeback, which can be considered a degen pump. But the fact is here is we will see better days. I understand that a lot of centralized exchanges are under scrutiny right now because of all the miscommunication and lack of transparency, over leveraging, not enough transparency in the space. And I will reiterate that, not enough transparency in the space. I think SBF or Sam did a really good job here by ensuring that we are all educated to an extent that we need to be to make informed decisions moving forward, especially FTX users here in the US. We haven't been affected yet, but does that mean we will be affected in the future? So make that determination for yourself. Never, ever, ever financial advice. And even SBF mentions that none of the stuff that he said or the words he stated should be considered any kind of advice whatsoever. And of course, leave it to Twitter with all the memes and talking about all the different liquidity things. You know how Twitter goes. Anywho, let me know your thoughts down below about the downfall of FTX, step by step, and what occurred. Hope this video helps you make an informed decision moving forward regarding your crypto portfolio, where you're holding your cryptos, because remember that saying. Always remember the saying. Not your keys, not your crypto. I really do appreciate everybody, especially those of you who are here for the first time. Make sure, as always, to smash the like button and also consider subscribing to the channel. We're approaching 124,000 individuals who click that button. So join them, where we talk about crypto every single day, even days like today, where I'm feeling under the weather, but still coming on and ensuring we have a little bit more transparency in crypto. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And until next time, everybody, as always, keep investing. Peace.